It's time for Washington Fish Quest! This episode, Lake Crescent Freediving. Well, Chris and I are gonna hit the dusty trail. Unfortunately, fishing was rough. I learned a good lesson here because, you know, Nia Bay Jetty is supposed to be like this hot spot, freediver spot, but people are always out there in the opener now. I think I see why, because it gets fished out, perhaps.
Yeah.
And yeah, so on the way out, because apparently we're cursed not to be near any fish this trip, we're going to go to Lake Crescent and yeah, just enjoy those super clear waters. I've jumped off of Devil's Punch Bowl, you know, just like in my shorts, you know, when I was younger. But yeah, we're actually going to go kind of free dive around there because it's just crystal clear water, you know, super good viz. So
you're gonna hit the bottom 150 feet.
Oh, that's no problem now. I'm gonna go from like 20-foot duck dives to 150 feet duck dives, man.
Yeah.
All right, faithful viewer, Chris and I are headed to Devil's Punch Bowl. This is the last day of our trip. Just gonna see if we can't do some jumping and some diving. Our big jump days are behind us, you know. We're too smart now. Yeah. So yeah, so it's just gonna be fun, especially for me to be able to free dive in some crystal clear water and just kind of work on my duck diving and my equalization and all that good stuff. Yeah. Ooh, check that out, everybody. Like turquoise blue water, just beautiful. It's like if you're a kid drawing a picture of a lake and you just got the blue crayon, you know, and you're scribbling it down there, no green or anything like that. Not in this water. Yeah, when you get under there, I remember jumping in there when I was younger, and you know, just opening my eyes, you know, and it's even with no goggles, you can just see for what seems like forever. Here Chris and I are.
Yeah, this is awesome.
They are at the Devil's Punch Bowl, and there's this school of fish down there. I don't know if that's coming through on camera. See those little black lines are kind of moving there across the screen. They're going that way. Yeah, I believe those are, if I had to guess, those are probably, there's two endemic species of fish to this lake that are found only in Lake Crescent, and that is the Lake Crescent cutthroat trout and the Beardsley E trout. I believe it's pronounced Beardsley. It's either Beardsley or Beardsley E. But at any rate, they both live in here, those species, and Lake Crescent used to be attached to the Strait of Juan de Fuca, and it got blocked off thousands of years ago, and so those two fish have special kind of subspecies adaptations, making them their own unique subspecies. All right, so we're a bit overdressed for the situation. You know, most people are just diving in shirtless. However, we're going to be diving hopefully to the thermocline. That said, if you've ever wondered if a 5 or 7 mil semi-dry suit is easier to put on than a 5 mil surfer suit, oof, I've had my struggles. I mean, I'm sure it's because I maybe a little big for the suit, but hey, I'm a little big for my 7 mil as well, and that's much easier to put on with the lube. So, you know, I used to think that these surfer suits are a lot easier to slide on, but I'll take my open cell any day. As with the previous two videos, thank you, Chris, for providing the underwater footage in this one.
Wait. Yeah, you're good. Oh, maybe not.
The judges score 0 out of 30.
Nice.
Not too graceful.
Chris makes freediving look easy, but I wanted to take a moment just to respect all the elements that go into a successful freedive, although this will be an incomplete list. Right now what he's doing is called the breathe up. That's where you both draw air into your lungs using a process called segmented breathing, where you fill your lungs from the bottom to the top, which is not how we naturally breathe usually. And he's also lowering his heart rate. He's basically chilling out in a meditative state at the surface. You know, my instructor said he can get his heart rate down to 28 when going on a very deep freedive. You'll see Chris pinching his nose every now and again. That's a process called equalization. So pressure builds up as you go down, you know, the oxygen in your body basically gets squeezed, and as does your inner ear. If you don't have a counter force inside your head to your inner ear, you can damage your inner ear, and it is quite painful. You'll see me abandon a couple dives later on because I did not equalize well. I'm not even going to talk about the form. There's a lot to the form as well. Oh, Chris found a watch. He's on his way back up, and speaking of on your way back up, I've had a few people comment to me, won't you get the bends if you just shoot back up? The bends come from having too much nitrogen in your blood from your lungs due to the pressure of the water. A free diver doesn't stay down long enough like a scuba diver, though, to have that occur. Now that Chris is back at the surface, there is a breathing technique, or a couple breathing techniques, to basically get oxygen back into your bloodstream as quickly as possible. Down goes Chris to find more treasure. Here's a ring. Here's a knife. He gave me that knife. I use it to plug herring now on my boat. Ooh, and here's someone who had a bad day. That's an automatic set of keys there.
See if he crashed in the parking lot.
Here's a Fitbit. Might have been in second of the day. Oh, it still works. Pretty epic dive here. Chris got a GoPro, a knife with a sheath, and what looks to be a dead trout, but looks like an angler actually caught it, cleaned it, and threw it back. I have no idea why. Maybe it just fell off the bridge. In earlier episodes, you heard me say I need to work on my duck dive. So I'm actually pretty happy with that right there. I mean, I'm getting better. So a duck dive is harder than it looks, like a lot of things in freediving if you haven't done it. So I'm swimming down, there's a ledge there, it's my goal to touch it. There I am abandoning the dive. You'll see why here in a second.
Oh, my equal Jason was trash.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Here I go again. Certainly I'll touch that ledge this time. Nope.
Oh, it's all good, man. It's all good.
I can't equalize.
Well, I'm getting a little frustrated, as you can tell, because I'm not equalizing well. So let's look at the stars of the show. It is so beautiful under there. Look at these fish. I don't know if these are Beardsley trout or Lake Crescent cutthroat trout, but they are. Look at these schools. This is so beautiful, and it looks like they're flying in the air almost. It's such clear water. Now look at that guy. There's a solo roller there, a little bigger than that school. Chris found a sculpin. And this is my favorite shot. Look at this. It looks to me like this fish is floating in air. That's why I named the thumbnail what I did. It looks like it's just flying. Alright, one last attempt to go grab that ledge. As you can see, I seriously need to work on my technique, but it's so great to have the video actually, just to know that I'm doing those like little energy burning kicks, you know, opposed to the big wide strides like Chris. Yeah, I grabbed it. There we go, so I feel pretty good after that. Here I go again, just to make sure that first time wasn't a fluke. It's kind of hard to tell, but I actually went below the point here, so I'm feeling really good after that dive. I'm sure this isn't the most exciting thing to watch, but it means a lot to me, so I appreciate it if you made it this far. And giant thanks to Chris as always. He is such a good teacher, such a patient man. Ah, Crescent Lake, isn't it beautiful, folks? I just cannot wait to get back there. It was really, really breathtaking being under those waters. Well, in closing out our three-part series here with Pacific Northwest Samson and myself, just wanted to thank Chris again. I know he could have came down and met up with a more experienced freediver, many freedivers I'm sure, and instead was willing to go out with me, knowing I had basically no experience, and show me the ropes, and of course that hinders his own ship a bit. So I super duper appreciate the sacrifice on Chris's part, and very grateful for the teachings. Alright, so ends my freediving adventure with Chris this time. I still got a long ways to go, but I can't imagine, having not got to dive with Chris, how much I've learned. So at the end there, you know, I still wasn't keeping my head straight. I had 2 dives after the episode was over, and I think I done about 25 feet and had a pretty good form, so I was really happy with that. I found this quarter from the distant time of 1988. I also picked up some beer cans and like a disposable razor, so that was rewarding. Oh, and I got this child's bracelet. Chris, on the other hand, I want you to watch this video. Please check out Pacific Northwest Samson. But he got a GoPro, a Fitbit, a knife sheath, and a lot of other stuff. But I'd like you to go check out his channel. So if you want to see the joy of discovery, you can see him diving down like 50, 60 feet and picking up those things. You know, he's like using the flashlight in some of the shots because it's so dark. Because even though this lake is crystal clear, that's how deep he's getting, you know, looking under crevices and stuff. So thanks so much. See you next time on Washington Fish Quest.